Welcome to another episode of The Pickpocket. Here at The Pickpocket, we utilize the NBA category in the Fanduel app to help you win money. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and also be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. If you're new to the channel, feel free to pause and read this information right here. Very important, and happy Friday. Housekeeping notes. We hope you all are winning by taking some of our advice. If not winning a ton, at least winning pocket change. This week has been filled with more earnings than losses. What we can account for is late scratches, unexpected injuries, and some extraordinary performances like Van Vliet earlier when he hit 11 threes that night. The DFS is a grind because of the unpredictability. We spend a great deal looking at the options and their opponent, which is why we supply different types of lineups and we suggest not using 100% of them every time. Like an NBA team would do, we scout players and we put on what we believe is most the players that we believe is most relevant. Like the NBA, sometimes these scouting reports mean nothing because either players underperform or they overperform. We do our best to provide you the best possible information. We wanted to share this because this week has been crazy. We've had players burn us, teams playing down to competition, etc. Continue to believe in the Pickpocket. Thank you for the support. Let's keep the grind up and let's keep winning. All right, mock lineups. If you are new to the channel, feel free to use. We're going to provide you guys with a lot of mock lineups. Feel free to use 90% of a lineup as a base and substitute players where you see fit. Get your own taste for your own lineup. We are assuming Ben Simmons will play. If so, they will be without Durant, essentially their best wing defender, in what should be a shootout. We like Simmons to rack up plenty FDP. Cole Anthony had a great game last night versus this same team. Too cheap to pass up. Wiggins wasn't as spectacular as Oubre, but he scored just under his average. The shooting guard pool isn't that great for value, so Wiggins fits. There isn't anything pointing to Huerter not playing. Believe it or not, Toronto's defense is lackluster this year. This game could be high pace, leaving the possibility for Huerter to gain FDP in other places than scoring. Ingram has been super consistent in his FDP performance. Memphis isn't doing much these days to stop small forwards from doing well in FDP. They are second to last in FDP allowed to small forwards. Okay, hear us out. Keldon Johnson had a great game last time out versus Houston. He still starts and he still plays good minutes. AD versus Detroit, who didn't play last time they faced Detroit, no answer for him. Only he can stop himself. Tillman remains solid for Memphis. It'll be a struggle staying out of foul trouble, but consider that Memphis may be without Clark. Holford did as we thought last night versus OKC, dominate. Definitely run it back when it comes to picking Holford. Hitter per position lineup. DeJounte Murray is a game time decision, but no indication if he'll actually sit, as he hasn't missed a game yet. He hasn't really missed a game yet, except he missed one game when he got injured, but he played that game, but he got injured, falling on Porzingis' ankle. If he does play, Houston struggles with point guards, especially dynamic ones. If he doesn't play, White or Mills will work. Morant hurt us last time versus Houston, but with Clark being out and Dillon Brooks not providing much, we anticipate he'll need to be spectacular to beat New Orleans, who rank bottom of the league in points allowed versus point guards. Norman Powell has been great, even with the other guards playing great. He slips in that small forward sometimes for them and finds great FDP. Atlanta still plays minimal defense. Diallo will find himself playing great minutes with so many players out with health protocols. He's a good option for tonight's shooting guard value. At the shooting guard value. Tobias Harris may find himself doing a lot if Simmons and Embiid don't play. No worries, it's Brooklyn without Durant. That doubles the value of Harris if those two stars don't play. Jackson will see extended minutes because of the rest of Rose and Griffin. Porzingis came alive last game. He needs to find the paint more with Golden State small lineup, but he still found himself a 40 FDP. Patrick Williams took advantage of a weak Orlando defense and got decent FDP. Vooch, we nailed it. He was our cover art last game. We said he would work and he went bonkers. So definitely run that back when it comes to picking Vucevic. Nikola. Whatever. 2 most expensive lineup. You got Giannis and Harden as your most expensive. You got Tyus Jones. He gets good FDP in the minutes he gets, and the matchup is favorable. Wright will play extended time with Rose out. This was a blowout. This has blowout all over it, but it's a late game and hopefully up by then. Harden will have to step up without Durant. His value increases if Simmons and Embiid sits. Anytime one of the big 3 are missing, it doesn't mean mandatory pick one of the other ones. It's the magnitude of this game that makes him appealing. Hardaway played good versus Dallas. It's puzzling that Dallas played so poorly, but look for a bounce back and possibly closer game. Remember, he's that third option behind Luka and Porzingis. Anderson played exceptional last game with his minutes. It's worth considering him again. Fournier had a good game last night versus Chicago. Neither team did much to stop the other. Anticipate another game similar to last night, back-to-back though. Boucher may find himself in a shootout with Atlanta. His price has sunk, but his minutes have been good enough to provide solid FDP. No Aldridge, no Wood. Pirtle is a great option. You see his last game, you might want to check it. Played pretty decent. Player per game lineup. Derek White is here because if Murray doesn't play, we want a point guard in the game versus the team next to last in FDP allowed to point guards. Kyle Lowry does it all. Literally, he scores, he rebounds, he assists, he steals, he makes lunch. Whatever you need him to do, he's gonna do out there. We don't show enough love against Atlanta. Is the best pick for his price in this game. Horton Tucker could see extended minutes and FDP as he's played well and played good, and he played good minutes lately, and this game could end up out of hand. We told you last night, trust us with DaVincio. He delivered versus Cleveland. Run it back. He's rounding back to form. Oubre more than likely won't have that same performance. However, as we stated last game versus Dallas, they just gift wrap FDP to small forwards. Think about it. Oubre and Anderson both had good FDP games. Really important. Jared Vanderbilt wasn't mind-blowing, and that's okay. At his price, you just need that average and a little more. He's strictly just a value player. Zion gets his average and some no matter the defense or ranking of the team. We are confident he will produce similar results. Zion, he's going to brute his way to his stats. It doesn't matter who he's playing. He could be playing the Space Jam All-Stars. Good matchups, or the Monstars, whatever they were called. Anyway, good matchup lineup. These players are put together solely based on their matchup. If their opponent allows plenty of points to that position, they made the list. The point guards both play teams ranked in the bottom 4 in FDP allowed. Zach LaVine continues to impress, and Orlando enjoys watching shooting guards impress. The small forwards have the easiest teams versus small forwards of the night. Beasley is facing the worst, but Ingram is better and Anderson is value. We are cautious about Collins. He's becoming one of those players whose FDP is reflected in the points scored in the game. He can't get his buckets. It hurts his rebounding effort, his passing, and somehow he doesn't average more blocks. So feel free to replace or stay away. He just plays a favorable matchup. That's why we have him in there. The center situation is unique. Pirtle has the best matchup, not named Holford or Embiid. However, Steven Adams is playing the worst defense to centers, but he relies heavy on rebounds. DeMarcus Cousins is good considering Christian Wood is not playing. All right, the rest of this presentation, you're going to see these symbols. These symbols are going to do a lot of the explaining for you. Feel free to come back to this page, or feel free to whip out your phone and take a picture, and then you can follow along that way as well. All right, cheat sheet. Sleepers here. You got DaVincio, Tillman, and Green. DaVincio is coming off a great game versus the same team. Tillman should see more usage without Clark. Green is serviceable with Durant. Without him, he should find more FDP. If Embiid and Simmons sit, double his value. All right, position stack. Excuse me. We are we are paying up for both guard positions, then filling in value players. Roby had a sneaky good game last night with his depleted OKC team. Adams is solid because of the matchup ranking, but we're hoping he snags plenty rebounds. Prince has filled in decent for Nance. Birch continues to fill in for Gordon. Expect Chicago to double more on Vooch, hopefully leaving Birch to more points. All right, cheat sheet. Sleepers, you got Diallo, Anderson, Vanderbilt. Diallo should expect to see more minutes as OKC is depleted. Anderson had a good game last game. Dallas ranks poorly versus small forwards. He had a good game while his other small forward popped off. Vanderbilt is facing a team missing players. He got above his average last night. Capella is here because we like the matchup. Toronto takes the second most threes in the league, making 47% of them. Good chance for a high rebound game. He's also active around the rim with dunks and always finds blocks. This is the last page we have for you guys. This is the end of the presentation. Be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. Comment any questions or concerns. And thank you for choosing another episode of the Pickpocket DFS.